Hi there, it's Sandra with Brew City Thrifts. Today we are at the Goodwill of Pewaukee, which is in the county west of Milwaukee. And it is a Wednesday after work. Let's just get in there, let's hit it. They've got a lot of variety here in the vases aisle, which is towards the front of the store. So I usually start here, just doing a scan to see what's gonna catch my eye and I want to look at closer. First of all, lots of things to look at. Well, I decided to start over here in the left corner and I look at this little pot and oh, it's Takahashi. I thought it was hand painted, and in fact it is, and it's also vintage, and it's really cute. Now it's got a little bit of staining on the bottom I'm gonna have to deal with, but a little cute Takahashi pot made in Japan. That is my first pickup of the day. Moving back to the shelves, I wanted to take a look at this glass vase. It's a pillar vase. It's got some etching, maybe Polish, but I move on. It was had some heavy deposits. Then this vase was rather nice, a freeform vase. I do like freeform vases. That was a bit plain. Moving on, I noticed this hand-painted vase. Looks like it could be contemporary. It's a pretty one. Already have a hand-painted floral vase, so I move on. And this one looks very 1980s. It looks like it says something like porcelain cachet pot that was made just for you. I moved on to this. This is a really pretty design. Also contemporary though. A very bright red. I thought it might be vintage. I think it has a chip on it. This looks like it could be, and it is Fiesta, a little Fiesta berry bowl. Happens to be a little bit out of place. Down here, another vase for me to look at, another hand-painted vase. This one has some crazing. It might have some age. It is not marked. And I do like it, but I do decide to leave it on the shelf. Quite heavily crazed, but nice. Another day, I might have picked that one up. They really did have quite the selection. I'm still in the pots now. I've kind of moved a little bit towards where they've got all the dried and faux flowers, but they often have a lot of vases here too. So just checking out all the different things here, and I noticed this. This is a polished stone candle holder or display stand. I love these. I love to use them myself. This one unfortunately has a big chip right there on the top rim. You could potentially hide it, but I decided to leave this. We're in the chachki section, and at the top is a huge selection of bells. Maybe someone has recently donated a bell collection because there just is a whole shelf full of them. Got some precious moments. There's always those at the Goodwill, and just a variety of things too. So what am I going to look at first? I'm going to look at a bell. I look at this glass bell just because it's got the parrot on top. It's very lightweight though. It's probably not very high quality. There was a hand-painted violets on the bell. Down here on this shelf is a bling compact. I'm trying to open it with one hand. That's kind of cute. Looks like it could have been made in India. It doesn't look very old to me though, so I decide I'm not going to take it. Decide to look in this box. Once in a while boxes can have something good in them. In this case, it's a little silver elephant wrapped in individual wrapping. And oh, those are place cards. Those are place card holders. I actually do fairly well with place card holders, so I also see they have a designer name on them, Kate Aspen, and so I decide I'm going to pick those up. Continuing to look through the chachkis. I know those of you who love figurines probably get annoyed that I pass by so many. I did take a look at this stained glass birds. Again, I do like the design and the colors, but very lightweight. Almost, I don't think they were plastic, but almost that feel. And back here on the very back of this shelf, I see this pretty, oh, it's hand-painted violets. What? Yay! I love hand-painted violets. And this is a vintage piece of Lefton. This is a Lefton ceramic picture frame with hand-painted violets. This is the kind of thing that I love to pick up and I usually want to keep. This shelf has a lot of ceramic bird figurines. I will look for Andrea by Sadek because I think the quality of those figurines is really fine and I really like those, and they're usually made in Japan, so I will pick those up. This one though, being as large it was, that would have been a potential pickup, except that it did have a broken wing and a repair. Oh, over here I almost passed by these willow tree boxes. Now, I've picked up some figurines in the box at a Goodwill just recently, but these, while they may be intact, these are priced way up. I'm going to have to leave those behind. Here's some vintage. These are daisy and button patterned plates, possibly Indiana glass. They are missing the little cups that go with them. I do like the pattern. It's a heavy pattern, and for clear glass that attracts me, but I think a triangular plate is going to be a tough sell because they're going to be harder to store. But someday I might have picked those up. This day I left them behind. I was distracted by this box, which is a hand-painted wooden box. It seems to have a little age. Yeah, there's a little staining on the inside, but that outside is really cute. And there's a little signature there. I like pretty little storage boxes, and I think I'm going to take this one with me. This is a really sweet hand-painted one. I think somebody's going to want it. Slow panning at some new shelves. Got some signs, got some chachki, more signs. The first thing I pull out to look at is this wooden sign with a corn theme. I think that's really cute. That is kind of adorable. It is a decent price, and I could see here in the Midwest that going on a door for fall, but I did decide to leave it. And then I saw this. What the heck? This huge hunk of fused glass. And it looks contemporary, yes, but it's got a mid-century modern vibe, sort of retro. And then I see it's got a signature. So heck yes, no damage. It's very cool. It's heavy, it's substantial, and I really like it. So where's the price? I think I forgot to look for the price. Maybe it's on the bottom there, but I decided I'm going to take it without even looking at how much it costs. It's very cool. So I noticed these wooden spoons back here. I had some of these growing up on the wall. The carving isn't super fine, but it is a nice size, and I'm not seeing damage. So there's a spoon and a fork. I do like items like these, and I will always check them out. But in this case, I decided to leave these on the shelf. Down below, I noticed this lovely ceramic trivet. It's got that Portugal look to it, even though you can also tell it's got Portugal written on it. It's a trivet in a frame for hanging, and I love that style. I'm going to take that with me, even though it is a souvenir piece. Slow scanning another shelf when I noticed this. This is a nice piece of pottery. Definitely kind of nice for the big woods here with a wolf on it. It's made out of clay, terracotta. No breaks, but next to it I also noticed this, which is a abstract metal art cat with a kind of like a bobblehead, or just a head on a coil, a wire coil. So And it seems to be broken, but I'm kind of entranced. I do really like abstract art like this. It's got a cat. It's got a lot of cool things going for it. So even though I think I'm going to have to do a repair and it may be something I keep for myself, I decide I'm going to take this. I just think it's got a great look. We find ourselves again, yet again, in the mug aisle. Because mugs are so cool. Okay, so I am looking for hand painted pottery mugs, and this looks similar, but it is a promotional piece, and so it's for either a company or an area called Lakeland. I decided to leave it. This one also looks handmade. It has a nice mid-century kind of vibe to it. I like the glaze on it, but I do think I see a chip on the rim, so that is going to stay as well. Looking for hand painted items here among the plates, so I pick up this first. This is a pretty pattern and it's a pretty square plate. The maker is, or the designer is, Lori Gates. I recognize that name. I think she's a California artist, has her own line now, but I think she's also done work for other producers. It's pretty contemporary, so I leave it. Taking a look at a few other items. I think that is Gibson. That looks vintage back there. I've seen similar patterns, but typically don't pick those up. Then I've got a little demi-tasse teacup. I don't think that saucer matches perfectly well. On a lower shelf, I'm looking at some pretty clear glass plates. Those are actually kind of nice, but behind them, I'm sort of distracted by the vibrant red here. This is really pretty. I love the pattern, and it looks mid-century or vintage. And when I turn it over, it is Metlox Poppytrail. I recognize the maker and the design, but I don't actually remember it being this bright red design, and it turns out there are different designs in the Poppytrail series, and this one I really like. It is just got some great mid-century vibes. There are 5 plates here, but one of them has a chip, so I end up taking 4 with me, and those are very cool. Nice find for me. Got some pottery here, and you know how I love pottery. And so this catches my eye, spongeware, and turning it over, it is Robinson Ransbottom. It's Robinson Ransbottom, and it's a good vintage brand, a nice little ramekin size, and so that's going to come with me. Then I noticed this hand-painted plate. It looks Italian. Turning it over, it is Italian, and not totally my jam, and a little bit lightweight, honestly. I was like, Italian pottery, it's so lightweight. No, I don't think I'm going to take it, even though it's got some pretty hand painting on it. I noticed this jar. It is a Jelly Belly jar. This makes me think early 1980s, even though this particular piece might be more recent. And it's kind of fun, but I personally am not a huge fan of jelly beans. I'm more of a box of chocolates person, but it actually doesn't sell for too much on eBay, so I move on. And I notice this very, very pretty lusterware dish with a lovely green color and green hand-painted flowers in the middle. It is Japanese and vintage, and I definitely like it. I do not pick up lusterware very much, and even though this is a really pretty dish, a pretty bowl, I decide I'm going to leave it behind. There's some more vintage right above it. I was walking by a cart at an end cap, and I noticed this really pretty wall pocket. It is ceramic, It's got a really pretty double sun design, one on the top and one on the bottom, and the pretty blue glaze with the white. I just think that's very, very, very pretty. So that is going to come with me. It is not signed, but I do think it's worth the pickup. Having to get a move on because it's getting close to store closing time. I noticed tucked over here on this cart as I was passing it by these elaborate servers. This is a Godinger set of servers. May not be a full set, but it's still a nice looking one. I like the grapevine pattern. I believe I have sold this or similar items before, and so I decide I'm going to take them. These are just nice for parties or special events. Time for a cart review. We are going to start with what we just picked up, which are the 3 Godinger, probably silver plated serving utensils with the grapevine pattern on the handles. Those are very cool. Here we've got the Metlox Poppytrail Medallion Red dinner plates, probably from the 1970s. We've got a set of 4. Moving those aside carefully. Underneath is our Takahashi hand-painted little flower pot, and we've got a hand-painted violets ceramic frame by Lefton. Both of those are vintage. We've got the Kate Aspen silver trunk up elephant place card holders in the box in their original wrapping. Down here is the metal art cat, very abstract with the coil spring head. That may be for me. I just think that's so super fun. Trying to carefully move the plates over. See if I can pull out this piece of beautiful fused glass. I'm not going to be able to lift it with one hand, but that is by the artist Benjamin Chang for Jasmine Studios, so that was a nice pickup. The Portuguese plaque also is signed by the artist. Here is the ceramic wall pocket with the double suns. I think that's very pretty. Here's the Robinson Ransbottom, but you can say Robinson Ransbottom if you want. Little ramekin, and then again the beautiful fused art glass. So on my way out after doing the cart review, I'm passing a cart and I notice this, and I turn it over and I see what looks like a Haeger mark on it. And I don't usually pick up pictures like this, but Haeger is a little dear to my heart because I grew up in a town that made Haeger products. So I am looking at that, and oh, right here is the basin. So we've got a pitcher and a basin. Yes, it is Haeger. So I decide that I'm going to make an exception and I'm going to pick up these pieces. I think that they were popular as collectibles in the 70s, and potteries also made a lot of them in the 70s. So there's just a lot of them out there, but this is Haeger, so I'm going to take it with me. So it's hard to say what my favorite thing is sometimes when I do my outro and I'm trying to think of like what to highlight. I'm just glad that I found some vintage. At this Goodwill, I know I'm going to really be seeing a lot of contemporary items, but I managed to snag some vintage anyway. Hey, Haeger on the way out the door. So that was fun. Like my channel, subscribe, and come back. We'll do this again soon. Thrift on.